It's the second round of the Western Conference Playoffs. Game 3 on the way on EA Sports. We're at Vivint Smart Home Arena in downtown Salt Lake City. Tonight, it'll be the Utah Jazz playing host to the LA Clippers. Hi, everyone. Ed Cohen with Jay Williams. Jay, you look at the Clippers coming into play. They held their ground in the first 2 games at their place. Now the test begins as they take the 2-0 lead on the road.
And you know, the first 2 games held the form. But now the series shifts. So this crowd is going to need to give them everything they can for an advantage. Even though this isn't a must-win, they need to play like it is because you don't want to be down 3-0.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Woo! Did you see that? Eyes to the rim, and the rest was all net.
Paul George to Marcus Morris. George knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose the dagger with the 3.
Here comes the screen. Conley. Mitchell against Paul George. To Conley. Joe Ingles. Has a look. Can't connect.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was the shot.
Beverly to Paul George. Here comes the screen. It's PG for 2. Deep 2 there, won't go. On the follow, way to stay with it.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Conley into the front court. They're down 3. To Joe Ingles. Mitchell, his first effort off the mark. George to Ibaka. Serge Ibaka slams it down. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
Joe Ingles to Conley. Here comes the screen. Mike Conley missed his first. That one goes.
Oh, not only does that require extraordinary athleticism, but also a ton of confidence, especially before you even had a chance to build up a good sweat.
Leonard to Marcus Morris. Derek Favors able to recover with the block. Across the timeline, it's Conley. Down 3. 4-3. Working hard on the glass. And the rebound taken by the Clippers. Beverly into the front court. He'll run the offense. Leonard to Marcus Morris. LA with 4 to shoot to Ibaka and throws it down. Gotta love the rim rockers.
Gotta be careful, though. Don't hang on the rim too long. You might get a tee.
It's Jazz ball. Conley. They get it down to Gobert. And a putback slam.
If you know anything, it comes down to who wants it more. And right now, the offense is just hungry.
To Marcus Morris. Leonard. Serge Ibaka. 3 for 3. That's a perfect start.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Conley. Mitchell. Tough matchup against George. Gets it in the right corner. Joe Ingles. And the rebound taken down by the Clippers. spins and scores.
Nasty. You better remember his number and not let that happen again.
Jazz at the ball. Conley. Mitchell. Tough shot. He hits.
I love the pure confidence on that jumper. He takes that three despite the defender being right in front of his face. That's borderline disrespectful.
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Conley to Gobert. It goes down.
Hand down, man down. He's got to get up and contest the shot.
Paul George to Beverly. 5 seconds to shoot. Beverly. Scores from the post.
I mean, I don't know how much better the defense has to play you on that one. The guy was right in your grill and you still knocked it down.
Donovan Mitchell with the rock. To Favors. Joe Ingles. Down to 5 on the 24. Mitchell. Not done yet. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Leonard to Marcus Morris. Kawhi Leonard. That's now 4. He hasn't missed.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Conley. To Gobert. Stuffs it down with authority.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
The 2021 NBA Playoffs 2-round games and highlights will be coming up next on Sports Green Dane 2021.
They'll get it down to Leonard. And look out. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
Joe Ingles. To Conley. Down to 5. Down to 4 to shoot. Shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Here's Leonard for 2. Gets it to go. Someone clearly missed their rotation.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Conley into the front court. Down 8. To Allen. Knocked loose. Clippers have it. Turnover gives them the possession. Beverly. Leonard to George. Strong finish for Paul George.
This comes down to great execution both on the offensive and defensive end of the floor. Let's see if they can carry this into the second quarter.
Utah ball. The shot by Conley, no good.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
Conley into the front court. They find themselves down 10. Here comes the screen. Grayson Allen to Gobert. And Patterson grabs the rebound. Leonard to Paul George. Whoa, what a finish. Jay, they've had no answer for this guy.
He's been on fire this first
Brooklyn Nets led series 3-1 over Miami Heat in the 2021 NBA playoffs 2-round season 8 games.
Short jumper misses. Beverly into the front court. Lead is 12. Here comes the screen. Leonard to Beverly. It's Cephalosha with the rebound. Has a chance, knocks it down from mid-range.
I'm telling you right now, with moves like that, scoring is not going to be an issue tonight.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Leonard. Surveys the floor.
New York Knicks led series 2-1 over Philadelphia 76ers in the 2021 NBA playoffs 2-round season 8 games.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Kawhi Leonard at the line for a chance at a three-point play. A career 84% free throw shooter. Free throw up and good as they open things up to a 13-point lead. Clarkson with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Crowder matched up with Patrick Patterson. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Leonard to Beverly. Leonard to Beverly.
Los Angeles Lakers win series 4-0 over Portland Trail Blazers to move on to the 2021 NBA playoffs 3-round season 8 games.
Utah's got it. Clarkson to Gobert. Rudy Gobert. With that, he's 5 for 9. Leonard to George. Down low for Leonard. LA with 4 to shoot. To Leonard. Rudy Gobert. Huge block. That's the end of one here in game number 3. Jay and I return in a moment. You're tuned into the Western Conference semifinals on EA Sports. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Clippers have the basketball. Here comes the screen. Oh, great defense there, forcing the pickup. George. No good, and no foul. Paul George. That's 3 now on 4 shots. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
With the fadeaway, burns him for the basket.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
It's George for 2. Rebound taken in by Favors. Knocked loose. Clippers have it.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Paul George to Beverly. 5 on the shot clock. Paul George, 4-2. Utah with the possession. To Allen. Shot clock winding down. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Jordan Clarkson hounded. Shot off the mark. Beverly to Paul George. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal. And he'll go to the foul line.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
First try, no good.
Entering the game for the Utah Jazz.
No good. Missed them both. Beverly into the front court. The lead is 11. Oh, great pass. Setting up the basket.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Mitchell guarded by Patterson. To Allen. Serge Ibaka swats it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Beverly into the front court. His team on top by 13. And a nice finish at the rim.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
To Allen. From the painted area, won't go down. Beverly into the front court. His guys up by 15. George lets it fly. The jumper's off the mark. Mitchell with it up top. Trailing by 15. To Favors. And the Clippers with the rebound. George. To Ibaka. Serge Ibaka slams it down.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Here comes the screen. The screen sets him up for two.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes two of us.
Paul George. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah. Here comes the screen. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Donovan Mitchell at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 80% at the line. And he connects on the first free throw.
Marcus Morris. Subbing in for the Jazz. Number 2.
Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. George. Oh, good defense by the Jazz as they come away with the steal. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
First free throw is good. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Paul George to Marcus Morris. Favors. To Joe Ingles, trying to cash in. Ingles with a shot, no good. Beverly into the front court. It's a 9-point lead. To George. To Beverly. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Beverly down low George. And a throwdown. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
To Allen. The pass taken away by the Clippers. Had a chance, but it's no good. Donovan Mitchell with the rock to Joe Ingles. Down to Gobert. Serge Ibaka with a piece.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Beverly to Paul George. To Beverly. Shot from the lane won't go. Grayson Allen to Joe Ingles. Got it. Knocked it away.
Oh, some fans should take that ball home as a gift.
That's a souvenir. Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. And they call the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
Ed, the reality is that good jump shooters know how to get those calls. Overall, though, there's less flopping in the game, which is great. But there's something uncanny about certain players' abilities to get those calls on a regular basis.
Can't connect on the first free throw. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. George to Beverly. To Marcus Morris. Not that time. Easy path to the rim.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Free throws coming up.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Donovan Mitchell, couple of free throws on the way. He's been steady, 83% at the line. First one, count it. Able to convert on both free throws. To George. To Ibaka. Can't connect. Joe Ingles to Gobert. And a chance coming up at the line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
Donovan Mitchell has got 2 shots coming. At the line, he's shooting 87%. First one goes down. No good on the second. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Beverly into the front court. The lead stands at 9. Turns and slams it down.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Mitchell with the basketball. Down 11. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Paul George to Beverly. Doesn't have the touch. No good. Donovan Mitchell with the rock. To Favors. No good. Leonard to Beverly. George. Tough shot. Well defended. Clarkson with the basketball. 9-point margin. To Joe Ingles. Not that time. Beverly into the front court. He'll run the offense. George to Beverly. Knocked loose. Jazz pick it up. Favors to Clarkson. Patrick Patterson sends it away.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Shot won't go. It's LA Clippers ball. Beverly knocked loose. Jazz have it. To Joe Ingles. That's toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Leonard to Paul George. Another chance. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
To Joe Ingles. Shot clock's at 5. Down to 4. Knocks it down. Off the step back.
For any fans out there that thought Donovan Mitchell didn't put any stock into the fact that he was not the Rookie of the Year, you are wrong. Donovan Mitchell is that type of guy that uses everything in his power to fuel him to be the best on the court each and every day. If that was a campaign he built with Adidas, rookie question mark, it doesn't matter. That perceived failure is something that will only make this kid better tomorrow.
Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. So the two teams will head to the locker room as we reach the break here in game number 3. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
It's time for the Rose Report at halftime, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. The Clippers have a comfortable lead at the halfway mark. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Los Angeles Clippers. The Jazz have dug themselves a bit of a hole after 2 quarters. They've got the break to figure some things out. And trust me, they've got a few things to figure out. Still, it's not like they're totally out of this game. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Utah Jazz.
Game track.
The Jazz were in need of a bit more scoring if they wanted the halftime lead. They've been scrappy, doing their best to be competitive. We'll see if their efforts are more rewarded in the second half. These are the guys getting buckets for the Utah Jazz.
Game track. Assists.
The Utah Jazz struggled to play the angles and allowed too many passing lanes to exist. However, some credit has to go to their opponents for the way they move the ball. They've been taking advantage of this situation.
Player of the half.
Kawhi Leonard and his court IQ were on display as he delivered the ball, putting his teammates in a position to score the basketball. His timing was impeccable. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Clippers put together a nice half and were rewarded with a solid lead. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. These are the guys getting buckets for the Los Angeles Clippers. And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
LA Clippers with the basketball. He'll go to the foul line to shoot.
You got to know your personnel. That's not someone you want to send to the line for a free 2.
Paul George at the line for 2 shots. A career 84% free throw shooter. And hits the first free throw. Two for 2 on that trip. Across the timeline, it's Conley. His guys down by 9. To Joe Ingles. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Rondo into the front court. His guys lead here, early stages, third quarter. Serge Ibaka slams it down.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Conley into the front court. His team down 9. Joe Ingles to Conley. Joe Ingles down low for Gobert. Throws it down. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
Drive to the basket, but the shot won't go. Conley into the front court. The margin standing now at 7. They get it down to Gobert. The pass set it all up.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
To Marcus Morris. Leonard goes to the left side. LA with 4 to shoot. Going to launch beyond the arc. And he can't get it to go down. It's no good. Across the timeline, it's Conley. The deficit now up to 5. To Joe Ingles. Gobert. Beyond the arc for 3. Not a good shot there as he misses it. Paul George. To Leonard. The Clippers with 4 to shoot. Leonard, he drills the 3.
Crafty, Ed. I love the fact that he was able to have the awareness to get his feet behind the three-point line.
It's Jazz ball. Conley. Leaving no doubt. Slams it down.
I don't think I could do that on the 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Here's Rondo with it. Up 6. Passed it off. Stuffs it down with authority.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Conley. Here comes the screen. Count the basket at the rim.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
George to Marcus Morris. To George. It's rebounded by Gobert. Conley into the front court. The deficit is 6. To Favors. Here's the whistle. 5 seconds. Back to the basket. Violation sends it the other way. The opposing coach is going to counter. Make some changes of his own.
Hey, lock up.
Leonard to Beverly. Here's a chance from long range. Won't go down. Joe Ingles to Conley. Mitchell against George. Has a look. Wide open. Too easy. You can't give him that look.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
To Beverly. Leonard to Ibaka. And count the basket.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Here's Leonard for two. Deep two there, won't go.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Lets it fly from long range. It's good. Coach wants to see more from his D.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start dragging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Paul George to Leonard. George to Leonard. And scores on the step back.
We're watching the clinic right now. We're watching basketball one-on-one. Whoever this professor is, he needs to get paid top dollar.
To Conley. Mike Conley. He struggled just a little bit. 2 for 5.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Leonard to Marcus Morris. Now ready with a couple of free throws.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
Patrick Beverly, couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 76% from the line. Knocks down the first. And he makes them both. Mitchell with it up top. His guys down 3. To Gobert. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Mitchell with the basketball. His guys now trailing by a point. To Allen. Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
Clippers have the basketball to Marcus Morris. Beverly to Leonard. Keep on trying. Shot's no good there. Grayson Allen. Patrick Beverly rejects it.
That kid can block out the sun, man.
Tough make through traffic.
You see, here's why versatility is so imperative for your offensive repertoire. If you're a one-trick pony as a defender, I know exactly how to defend you because you only do one thing. But if you have versatility, then the coach can put you in multiple looks within the offense, and then you can get it any way you want it.
To Batum. Leonard shakes free and hits.
Well, the defense has been good, but the shot-making ability has been better. And sometimes for NBA players at this level, the more you're in their face, the more it helps them center their focus on the target, which is making the shot. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's a real thing.
Patrick Beverly. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Clippers have it. Leonard to Beverly. Driving right to the basket. Layup's good. That's as high percentage as it gets.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
To Gobert. Slams it down.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Grayson Allen. For three. Smothering D.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Jazz have the ball. Short jumper off the mark. Beverly into the front court. Lead is 2. To Leonard. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Kawhi Leonard trying to cash in on a three-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. Free throw good to finish off the three-point play. The lead is up to 5. Mitchell with it up top. He'll run the offense. Here comes the screen. To Gobert. Has a chance. Shot for Mitchell won't go. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Kennard to Leonard. Oh, not a good pass there as it's stolen by Utah.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in 1st and 2nd grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
How you practice leads to that. Nice pump fake.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Desperation shot here from half court. That ends the 3rd quarter. The Clippers have the lead. It's Utah basketball as we begin the 4th quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ballgame.
Trying to cash in. Slams it home on the putback.
Not really known for attacking the glass, but I like that hustle. We need to see more of that.
It's LA Clippers ball. Beverly to Luke Kennard. To Nick Batum. Scores from the post.
There you go, finally. Shoot your shot.
Clarkson with the basketball. They trail by 7. Here comes the screen. Down low to Favors. Slam dunk, Derek Favors.
You never want to leave anything to chance when you attack the rim. You finish strong every time you head home.
Beverly into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Here comes the screen. Beverly. Oh, emphatic slam.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Crowder up against Patterson. Five to shoot for Utah. Has a look. Clarkson shot, no good. LA Clippers with the basketball to Batum. You've got to get that one to go. Deep left corner. Grayson Allen to Favors. Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Clarkson to Allen. The Jazz with 4 on the shot clock. Wide open look, won't go.
I don't know why he rushed that shot. He was wide open. Take your time.
Beverly to Nick Batum. Here comes the screen. Kennard to Beverly. From long range. And he's fouled. He's going to the line for 2.
Ed, the reality is that good jump shooters know how to get those calls. Overall, though, there's less flopping in the game, which is great. But there's something uncanny about certain players' abilities to get those calls on a regular basis.
And he misses the second. Conley into the front court. His guys down by 9. Here comes the screen. Conley matched up with Paul George. To Favors. 5 to shoot for Utah. Knocked loose. Not that time, and not his shot.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
And he's going to the line to shoot.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
And he connects on the first free throw. So he hits the first, misses the second. Across the timeline, it's Conley. His guys trail by 10. Grayson Allen. Foot was on the line. It's a turnover. Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Favors. Has a chance. Mike Conley. 3 for 6 now.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Beverly to Paul George. Here's the three. It was contested, but Paul George still dials in for three.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
Down to 5 on the 24. Conley. And George able to gobble up the rebound. Clippers have the basketball to Marcus Morris. Batum to Beverly. Hat-trick Beverly. He's 3 for 7.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Mitchell with the basketball. The deficit now up to 13. To Conley. To Gobert. Off the assist.
There's no better feeling after a game after you had 25-plus assists and you won the game and everybody recognizes that it's time for their bank accounts to get rewarded.
Batum to Marcus Morris. Mitchell with it up top. His guys down 11. Beverly to Batum. Donovan Mitchell snatching it out of the air. Had a good look there, but it's no good.
I agree. I thought there was a foul, but also it's all about your approach. You can't come down the lane and jump off one leg. It's called a power lift. Go off 2 legs and expect the contact.
To Nick Batum. To Beverly. Batum to Marcus Morris. PG lets it fly. He shoots. Oh, off the mark. Count the bucket for 2. Now the Clippers call a timeout as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the 4th quarter.
Well, you need execution in a chess match. And the best execution, I just saw the star player talk to one of the young fellas. You take those young fellas over to the side. You coach them through some of these big-time moments that happen in the 4th quarter. That's how you get your team ready for the playoffs and hopefully a chance to win a championship.
Time to shuffle things up. Leonard to Beverly. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Conley into the front court. His team down 9. A drive to the basket, but it somehow stays out. Beverly to Leonard. And Gobert hauls in the rebound. Conley into the front court. 9-point margin. To Favors. Over to the right side. Curling inside. Off the pro hop. Strong footwork.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
It's the Clippers with the possession now. Leonard. Had made his first couple, but he misses there. Across the timeline, it's Conley. The margin standing now at 7. Mike Conley, now 4 for 9.
Oh, my goodness. Someone please patch me into the arena intercom. Clean up on aisle 3.
Leonard to Marcus Morris. Fires the 3. Off the iron. No good. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
That's the intensity you need to see. Whenever a player running back on defense after a dunk like that holds the inside of his forearm, it lets you know how hard he dunked that basketball.
Joe Ingles to Conley. Screen coming. Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough. It's LA Clippers ball. Leonard. A good defense by the Jazz as they come away with it. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
I don't think I could do that on the 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Rudy Gobert pins it.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Joe Ingles. Cleared by Ibaka. Paul George to Beverly. LA with 4 to shoot. Paul George fires to Favors. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it.
You better get back on D. This thing is not over.
Beverly to Marcus Morris. Goes to the left side. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Patrick Beverly. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. To Allen. Trying to cash in. Mitchell shot off the mark. To Marcus Morris. Leonard. Off the assist.
But did you see the way he was able to do it, Ed? Did you see him constantly probe the defense by maintaining his dribble? Ultimately, if you keep your eyes on all the other defenders, they will lose track of where the ball is. That's where you slip a quick pass in for an easy dime.
Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive. Knocks it down on the step back. That was not easy.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move there.
Here's the whistle. Intentional foul.
Ed, what's that old saying? Ruffled feathers do not flock together? Well, actually, I just made that up. But what it means is that play will cause a little havoc. As designed, the team that uses it to galvanize as a unit will have the advantage.
And now an intentional foul, so they'll send him to the line. 2 free throws here means it's a 3-possession game.
Smart play. You have fouls to use. Good way to manage the clock without burning the timeout.
Nope, first one does not go. He missed a pair of free throws. I don't know what the defender was doing there, but count the points. Jazz will take a timeout. It's their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with one more chance to stop the clock before the buzzer sounds. to Joe Ingles. To Gobert. Marcus Morris sends it away. And they're going to play this one out to its conclusion as we get an intentional foul. That means free throws coming up in what is a 7-point game.
Good foul right there. You want to stop the clock.
Off the mark on the first free throw. Oh, he missed them both. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer, almost, but no good. It's the Clippers who come away with the victory. They've taken a commanding lead in this best-of-7 series. 3 games to none, 1 victory left. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Jalen Rose here, and I've got your EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Clippers finished with a narrow victory on the scoreboard. I could get into detail about their play calling and shot selection, but let's be honest. We all know that the dunks were the most exciting. I'd be surprised if the rim isn't a little bit bent at this point. The Jazz lost a tight one today, and you can see the disappointment. When a team goes back and review the film, coach will probably find areas of improvement. But one thing he can't say is they should have shot better. They did a great job of scoring in this game. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored. For the Utah Jazz,
Game track. Assists.
it's a shame only one team can win when you have such great team basketball on display. The ball movement was tremendous.
Player of the game.
Kawhi Leonard gets rewarded for the way he provided his teammates with plenty of easy baskets. His assist total is certainly indicative of his clever playmaking. Time now for the top plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
On behalf of Ed Cohen and Jay Williams, this is Jalen Rose signing off.